Welcome to Dodger Fan Weekly, Week 13.
I'm Adele.
And I'm Adele, and we love the Dodgers. Things are getting good.
They are.
It's been really good. What's good? Kemp.
He's offensive.
He's so offensive.
You know, he's hitting .390 or something like that in the last 10 games.
It's terrific.
And it's on the heels of the Kings brought the Stanley Cup to Dodger Stadium.
Yes.
And
their teammanship rubbed off, it seems like. Plus, the Dodgers added a bubble machine.
Oh,
and it brought them together for some reason.
The dugout dance with the bubbles.
Yes.
It's very funny.
We're going to get one. and also, A.J. Ellis is back. Now, what a difference he makes on the team.
In so many ways, not just defensively, but even Mattingly talked about his tenacity at the plate. All the good at-bats he has makes pitchers work, and it rubs off on the other batters.
Yeah, and Agon's slump seems to be gone.
Waning.
D. Gordon still
stealing bases. And the best news?
Awesome.
Clayton Kershaw
got his first no-hitter. It was almost a perfect game. He was perfect. There was an error behind him, but he was perfect. It was amazing.
Pretty magical.
And so because of that, everyone is talking about pitching. I've never seen so many people talking about pitching on ESPN, on MLB, in the grocery stores, my friends that come over.
Right, hardcore fans and casual fans are talking about pitching.
So today, Dodger Fan Weekly is actually gonna talk about pitching stuff.
All the announcers, when they talk about pitchers, especially recently with Josh Beckett and Clayton Kershaw, is their great stuff. All good pitchers have good stuff.
All our pitchers have good stuff.
They
do. Greinke. What is stuff?
Stuff is pitches.
Exactly.
Right. And so all pitchers have a repertoire that they use, and the good pitchers are trying to keep hitters off balance.
That's right.
Because a balanced hitter is a dangerous hitter. And so we're going to talk about the most common, most popular used pitches, and Adele's going to demonstrate.
Well, I'm not going to throw it at you.
Okay,
I'll just show you how they
show you how they look.
How they hold them. Here we go.
Let's start with the four-seam fastball. This is the most important pitch because everything else works off of it. It's got maximum velocity and should have the best command.
And once it's tossed, it's a predictable pitch. As it goes through the air, the wind has equal pressure on each of the four seams, which makes it consistent, and most pitchers use this pitch.
This is the two-seamer, a two-seam fastball, also known as the sinker. It's a good fastball, and it does just that. It sinks, a very good pitch for inducing ground balls.
So as it's flying through the air pressure only hits two seams. So by the time it gets to the plate, it sinks.
The split finger fastball, strictly an out pitch, dives down hard at home plate, many times getting missed swings.
The reason they call it an out pitch is because you don't throw it all the time because of the unpredictability, but you throw it when you need an out.
The old changeup. It's slower than a fastball, but it is thrown with the same arm action. The arm speed is very important in getting maximum effectiveness. This pitch helps control bat speed.
Well, what happens is you think that I'm going to be throwing a fastball. That's what it looks like. My arm movement is the same, but instead of flicking it out with speed, I let it roll off my hands. So the speed changes, you get off balance.
The curveball. It's most often a strikeout pitch. It dives down when it gets to home plate, and many times the velocity is as effective as the movement because it's usually much slower than a fastball.
Well, the deal on the curveball is the idea is that my finger will flick this thing really, really hard, and the wind is going to hit it in such a way that it's going to curve down.
The slider. It's in between a fastball and a curveball. It's harder than a curveball, but less downward action. Many times you can see a small dot in the ball as it's coming towards you if you're batting.
And the deal is, if you know my curveball and you know my fastball, if I throw this in between one, I throw you off balance.
Knuckleball, a pitch that has very little or no spin. It's very difficult to control and catch. No one knows what it will do usually, which makes it also hard to hit, a very hard pitch to throw.
When it's going through the air, it has no spin, so the air builds up in front of it. When the air decides it wants to go somewhere, you don't know where it's going to go. Up, down, sideways. That's why it throws you off balance.
And finally, the forkball. thrown hard while held between the index and middle fingers at varying depths. Usually tumbles and drops violently, often diagonally, known as an out pitch, but can also be hard on the arm.
Well, it's spinning slowly through the air, so when the air finally breaks, the ball falls quickly.
The point of this is there are dozens of pitches and thousands of different ways to throw them. It's all about pitchers' stuff. They're trying to keep the hitters off balance using motion,
Velocity.
location.
And that is the stuff is made of.
It's great stuff. I'm Adele.
And I'm Annadelle.
Don't forget to tweet.
See you next week.